But let's now talk about all of the cues that you should track as we get into a brand new trading session. We have Sonal and Mangalam joining us now to fill us in with the trade setup and all of the stocks that could be in the news today. Guys, a very good morning to both of you. And Sonal, let me come across to you first. Finally, we do have at least a positive handover.
Oh, yes, we do. Strong global cues. US markets, they opened in the positive and they closed in the positive as well. They rallied and it was the best day since August 10 for all the three indices. Nasdaq snapped its 7-day losing streak higher by 2% in trade yesterday. The jobless claims data, of course, is awaited and is expected at 2,35,000. The other big positive that could be for our markets is that crude prices are at a 7-month low below that $90 per barrel mark because of demand concerns. On the back of this, the Asian markets, they'll come up for you on the screen as well. And they are indicating that, yes, the positive handovers could rub off for our own markets as well. The SGX Nifty is indicating an uptick of around 100 odd points. China exports, there's some data that came in that region, grew 7.1% in August versus estimates of 12.8%. And if we talk about the currency market as well, US dollar is at a 24-year high versus the yen at a 37-year high versus the sterling. It did come off slightly in overnight session, however, still continues to be strong. For our own markets, well, it was second consecutive day of losses. However, we have to note that Nifty saw 140-point recovery from the lows. It closed with losses of just 31 points at the close. Recovery in the second half was led by IT names. And from 52-week high, if we look at the Nifty and the Nifty IT, Nifty is down 5% from 52-week high, but Nifty IT is down 30%. So the next leg of rally could come in from the IT stocks. That is something that we'll be watching out for. The broader markets, they continue to do well. Mid-cap index was up 0.5%, small-cap index 0.8%. So it looks like a good day today, considering positive global cues and crude prices falling as well.
All right, Sonal, thanks a lot for taking us through all of those cues. But we also got some important stock-specific action that came through post-market close yesterday. So fill us in with that as well.
Oh, yes. So Interglobe Aviation, that will be in focus because sources are suggesting that Gangwal family will be selling up to 2.8% stake in Indigo via block deals. And indicative price for this particular block deal is at 1,850 rupees per share, which is at a 6.5% discount to the current market price. Dr. Reddy's has launched some capsules in the US with 2 of 6 strengths, and companies eligible for first to market segment, and they have an exclusivity of 180 days. So that is a positive for the company. Zee Entertainment has received NCLT approval to conduct shareholder meeting. They will be holding this meeting on the 14th of October, and that is to consider Sony Pictures deal. Some life insurance data that has come in. For the life insurance industry, the August premium is up 18% on a YY basis, and specifically for private life insurers, the August premium is up 24%. Lastly, watching out for Ramakrishna Forgings as well. They'll be considering fundraising on 12th September. So all these stocks in focus today.
All right, Sonal, thanks a lot for that. We're going to keep all of these stocks on our radar today. Finally, it's over to Mangalam, who's looking at all of the cues from the futures and options space. Mangalam, looks like the start at least will be good.
The start at least will be good. You know, yesterday we rallied about 140 points from the lows. The important part is how much of the US strength were we factoring in or anticipating already. The start for now is about 106 points in the green. That means we open around that 17,733 mark. And it'll be interesting to see whether this start is used by the participants to sell into, or perhaps we can build on from here. Let's talk about that in just a bit. But for now, the FIIs are buying in the cash market, and that's the big positive. 750 crore worth purchase yesterday as well, albeit the gross volumes were mildly lower than what we've been seeing in the last few trading sessions. And the FIIs, they saw some incremental selling in index futures. So the longs that they have are around 20%, the shorts at around 80% itself. And in index options as well, it is weekly options expiry. We saw some cues of, protection coming in because the FIs bought more puts, 50,000 puts versus 30,000 calls, and they sold more calls. 32,000 calls is what they sold as against 21,000 puts. So that's telling you that maybe we could see some bit of resistance at levels upwards of 17,750. Why do I say that? Well, because if you take a look at the 17,600 call, you have a premium of 93 rupees out there, and 17,600 put would have a premium of close to around 65 odd rupees. Add both of them together, 150 rupees. The street is playing for a range between 17,450 on the lower end to about 17,750 on the higher end. And if you notice over the last 3 weeks, the Nifty has been retracing from levels upwards of 17,700 on August 25th, August 30th, as well as September 6th itself. The big question is whether we go ahead and cross that mark or not. And if we do, well, we do have support, strong support at lower levels. Nifty 20-day moving average is at 17,637 and the 50-day moving average at 20-day exponential moving average at the 17,508 mark. A couple of stocks that I'll be watching out for today. Container Corp saw a big open interest jump after a big move yesterday. Let's see whether, some of these positions are unwound today or not. That is something I'll be watching out for. And the other one is Interglobe Aviation. Saw a lot of short addition yesterday itself. So how much of the street was sussing out, this sort of block deal is something that we'll be watching out for.
All right, Mangalam as well as Sonal, thank you very much for joining us and prepping us up for this trading session. Looks like we have a good start. Let's see how we take the day from there. But with that, it's time for our first short break on the show. But up next, newly appointed Starbucks CEO Lakshman Narasimhan tells CNBC that growth opportunities are unlimited, except from that exclusive conversation when we come back.